Hello, welcome to Mammo's Life. I hope you're all doing well. So, there's been quite exciting news. If you all watched Growing Up in Scientology last night, you would have heard Aaron talk about New Haven, Connecticut. One Scientology building has lost its tax exempt status. I mean, how wonderful. I don't have words except, as Natalie says, hip hip hooray. It's so exciting, and it's just the beginning. One building after another will gradually fall, and that is wonderful. So this morning, I watched on the replay Liz Ferris and Marilyn from Coffee, Colts, and Crafts, and they were on last night. And some of the things that they were talking about uh, kind of struck a chord with me. When when no one could figure out what was wrong with me, which no one still has figured out the first few years of my illness, but I had moved um, back to Colorado because I was waiting for my disability to kick in. So I got all new doctors there, and one of them was a neurologist, and she was um, very well known in the state of Colorado. She specialized in MS. So, over, I don't know, 3 or 4, maybe 5 months, she did MRIs, she did all this testing, and she put me, um, back then, first of all, not one doctor ever said I had depression. I didn't have depression. I know what it is, and I just didn't have it. But yet, inside of me, I just always felt that this, especially this particular doctor, that she thought when all the tests were negative and there was no MS and nothing she could figure out, I got the feeling she was throwing me in with that diagnosis of depression. She had tried Cymbalta on me, and she said I had to take it for 6 days. And 6 days, every day, I walked around like a zombie. I felt like I was doped up, like I wasn't inside my own body, but I did take it for the 6 days. And then, I talked to my doctor, and she said, no, you need to go off of it. And then she says, I can't really figure out what's wrong with you, so I'm going to send you to another doctor who's a friend of mine. So I went to this doctor, and I took my sister with me, and we were in the room. The doctor walked in. She was a female, and you know, I talked for about the first minute, just kind of explaining things, and she said, well, I'm going to just um, prescribe you an antidepressant, not one that helps with pain, but an antidepressant. And I basically said, no, thank you. And I was pissed off, because just because you guys can't figure it out, don't mean you should throw me into another diagnosis when you don't even know. You're not a psychologist. And so, jump ahead, and when I moved to Nebraska, I had went to my very first pain doctor. And when um, I met with him for the initial uh, first meeting with him, and he agreed to take me on as a patient. although they don't really give narcotics. This pain clinic many years ago was just all about injections, stuff like that. But in order for me to continue after his patient, as his patient, he has everyone go through a neuropsychologist, which that's what all doctors should do if you can't figure out a patient's illness and you want to really find out if they do have depression or anything like that. Send them to, it doesn't necessarily have to be a neuropsychologist, but just a psychologist, because I think they're more qualified. So anyway, I went through all this testing. Um, uh, there were like 500 questions uh, on paper to write, to answer, and then they had me do all these uh, motor skill tests, and I can't remember, but it was a few days of practically all day testing. And of course, I met with the neuropsychologist. We talked and all that. And at the end, he said, you have a little bit of anxiety, but not enough to go on any kind of medication for. And that's it. And I said, I don't have depression. And he says, no, you don't. I said, I want that in writing. And it's not, look, I have a family member who has that, actually a couple, and I know what it's like. I don't, and I also was told by a doctor that within my situation, going many years and to this day with no diagnosis on why my illness started and what exactly that is. But I was told that only 1% of people in my situation do not suffer from depression. And I was told I was the lucky one. And I do consider myself lucky because, I got enough things wrong with me. I don't need any more. But definitely my heart goes out to those who do. And I I had watched Farrah Cheryl yesterday, and she was talking about those shots and um, SGB shots. And I'm going to talk to my doctor about those. I'm pretty sure my insurance will cover pretty much the whole thing. So I'm going to talk to my doctor about it. I've had shots. Unfortunately, they all stopped working after so long. But when they did work, they were good. But I want to, I want to try this SGB. I'm hoping my pain doctor will give it to me, but we'll see. I see him this next week actually, so we'll see. Anyway, that live was with Liz and Marilyn. I wished I would have caught it live, but I was just so tired, couldn't stay up. And but I watched it this morning, and they're just two very special ladies, and I just enjoy watching everyone in this community. It is I said it when I was on with Marilyn that I never knew or realized I that something was missing. And having this community, it's so much more than just Scientology. It is so much more. And it is a wonderful thing to see so many people come together, and every day new people, and y'all need to start up channels and keep it coming, because it's just a wonderful thing. And there are many things out there that, we can fight against after we uh, deal with Scientology. So, and yesterday, I tried to go live. It was going to be a practice, and yeah, it was crazy. I I cannot go live. I do have StreamYard, but I can't go live until I have on my computer until I have 4,000 watch hours. And Lori Plays suggested when I was on with Marilyn to create a playlist, and I'm getting ready to go to work. So after work, and I will look up how to do that and create a playlist, and then maybe y'all can put it on a loop like Lori said, and I can get my 4,000 watch hours, because when I tried to do it on my phone, um, I could not see any chats, and I know there were a few people in there. And okay, so I will admit I'm an honest person if I'm anything. So again, I'm a dork. Guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn on my little microphone. It's got a little button on here, power button on the mic, and I completely forgot to turn it on because I'm sitting here. I'm sorry, guys. I I can't find the chat, and I'm just talking, and didn't realize until my neighbor actually was on, and he texted me and he said, "Can't hear you." Excuse me. So, what can I say? I wish, Kelly Copter, I wish you lived next door to me. You seem to be so good at all this stuff, but I'm assuming it's much easier to go live on the computer so you can see the chats and see everything. So that's my goal, is to get to 4,000 watch hours. And I even went out and bought a webcam for my desktop computer. I might have to take it. It was my mom's computer, and it's a really big screen because she had Meniere's disease and slowly over time lost her hearing. So the computer was a big deal for her. She talked to her best friends that she had for many, many years by email. And now her tower is probably 5 years old, and I'm thinking about taking it into the Geek Squad and seeing if it can be upgraded at all. And because I can't remember where we got this computer tower for her. It could have been Best Buy, but I know from experience, if you buy a desktop from Walmart, they're usually, you can't upgrade them. You can't really do anything, because I used to buy all my computers through them, and I would take them in to get upgraded, and they're like, nope, not with these, not with these. I'm like, really? So then I stopped buying them at Walmart. But anyway, it is something I need to check out. So Natalie is in Chicago. That is going to be wonderful to watch. Um, so I'm really looking forward to that. If today, I will probably have to watch her stuff on the replay, but tomorrow I'll be able to watch her live, and I'm excited about that. I did watch some of her in the car yesterday, which was her travel. Uh, them traveling in the car reminds me of how me and my family are, especially me and my sister. We get to sing it. My sister is a really, really good singer. She was she was she was a nurse for, I think, what, 21 years, and every weekend since she was in her 20s, she had a weekend job. Every weekend she was in a band and she was the lead singer. And so she really was great. And we were at somewhere in Loveland, Colorado, I think it was. And we were having dinner, and my sister was very pregnant with her first and only child. And she, due to past problems with pregnancy, she was pretty much bedridden most of the time, just to make sure that she, carried all the way through. But we went out to dinner, and I think we were with our parents. And there was a country band that was there singing, and they were touring. I can't remember the name of them, but I asked them if my sister could sing, and she did. And after, when they took their next break, they came over and asked her if she would be interested in touring with them. And I was just so excited. But of course, she had to say no because she was pregnant. So, but she played, all over northern, from Denver to northern Colorado, Wyoming. Excuse me. And she's just really good. She kind of got out of it, but I'm trying to convince her to join a band because she got sick. And she had, a policewoman hit her in a car and messed my sister up pretty good. And my sister had several surgeries on her neck and back. And so she did go back to work after that eventually. But, you know, through the years, it just became harder and harder. So, but I'm trying to convince her into going back into singing. I'm not sure if she will, but it does take a lot out of you to prepare, to um, sing all weekend. It's work. So, anyway, I hope she does. You're never too old to do anything, right? All right. Well, I'm going to have to finish getting ready for work. I wish you all the best, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And thank you for joining me. And always remember to be kind.